How old do you think Mike Tyson would have to be in order for you to beat him in a fight?
How old do I think I had to beat him in a fight?
He's like 50-something right now.
Yeah, he's
I
like
still
50,
think he would kick my ass.
Oh, without question. When he stepped into the ring, it was crazy.
How old do you think he has to be in order for you to beat him in a fight?
I would have to say 70. He'd have to be in his 70s to where moving for him becomes a difficulty. Okay. Because he still moved very good when he did the exhibition with Roy Jones. Mm-hmm. So I think for me, I would have to fight Mike Tyson when he's like in his late 70s and you can start to see physically he's breaking down. Is breaking down. Like if all I had to do, if I can survive a round and I know the longer the fight goes, it works in my favor, I think I can get him then. But he would have to be like late 70s, entering his 80s kinds of things, to where he's really starting to feel the effects of not only the lifestyle that he lived, but then also the physicality and the
Mike Tyson is like an interesting specimen to me, man, because like he's a real sicko, Mike Tyson. Yeah. Like there's something is broken in his brain in a good way, where he's just ferocious. Dude.
Yeah, when he goes to that place,
it's a dark place. Yeah. But I think all of these guys, like Jordan has that place, like Kobe has that place. We talk about John Jones a lot. John Jones has that place. There's memes about John Jones being like a serial killer secretly. Mm-hmm. He's secretly a serial killer, so it's like he takes pleasure in doing MMA and hurting people. Right. And then when you watch him fight, someone put together a compilation of just like his serial killer moments. Mm-hmm. When the dude fights, he doesn't like fight conventionally. Like he's trying to kick people's knees out. Right. Trying to take you out. I remember I saw that in a fight. I was like, can you do that? Is that legal to just kick someone's knees out like that? Because
it's the locations of where he hits. Because you would think if you're just in a regular fight, you know, you're competing, but then ultimately there's like a honor amongst, you know, fighters. There's almost like it's a club. So you're not intentionally trying to hurt somebody. But it's like you're competing to, you know, at the highest level, but it's like, all right, when the fight's over, it's respect. Right. For John Jones, it appears, and it was almost the same thing with Tyson, where the moment that the fight begins, it's me versus you, and it's to the death. Yep. And then there's a moment where when that bell rings and the fight's over, you're still there. Mm-hmm. So it's like that rate, it's still there. And then look at John Jones' eyes when he fights. It's like he rarely blinks. And you can see the ferociousness that exists. And he's almost antsy, hitting you with the knees. If you watch the elbows that he throws, you're like, wait a minute.
You see the one where he choked out Machida against the fence? That was so vicious to me, because like, you know when someone chokes someone out, like they lay him down? The dude chokes him out, and he doesn't like, it's no gentleness. He goes like this, drops him like a dead body, and Machida just drops to the floor like a dead body, dude. Chokes him unconscious, drops him, boom. I was like, yo, this dude's a psychopath. Yeah. And there's an interview where he's like, oh, I'll go in, it's him and Daniel Cormier. He's like, I'll go to that room right now. Yeah. He's like, if you came in here, I would literally kill you. Yeah, I'd kill you. Yeah. I would literally kill you. I'm like, oh, he's not fucking around. He would literally kill you.
Dude, some of these fighters, man, I remember when Deontay Wilder had the interview. I think this was before the Tyson Fury trilogy, where he's talking about he loves fighting because it's the only sport in which you can legally, you know, kill somebody.
It's crazy.
Like you can, I have that opportunity to really get that out there. So truly, in my opinion, I've always had this stance from when I was a kid. I always felt like if you saw signs of somebody being like a murderer or something of that nature from a very young age, put them in like a combat kind of sport, because you have to get that out. I think across the board, like anything that where you have somebody who has that in them, even on a small scale, because there's some people who just like really like to mess with like ants or mess with insects, rodents, animals per se, other people. Put them in a situation where there's a combat thing to where they can get that aggression out.
Well, I love these guys because like they all have like these demons that they're battling, but you see them exercise the demons through the ring. Yeah. Like Mike Tyson, like, didn't he get busted for like coke and like he owns tigers and stuff? Yeah, a tiger. And then he tried to pay a zookeeper to let him fight a gorilla. Yeah. Dude was he's nutty.
Yeah, I think he said it was like 10 G's he's gonna pay so he could fight some silverback.
And he's like over here biting someone's ear off because he's losing or he's getting frustrated in the fight, so he bites the dude's ear. It's sick. Yeah. And John Jones, another one. Do you see the one where he's headbutting a police car?
Oh yeah, I saw
He's
that on
handcuffed.
Yeah.
He's like, I fucking hate you guys headbutting the police car. I'm like, this dude is.
Dude, some people just have like when they snap.
There's that darkness in them.
Right. So they need that output.
They were literally built to do what they do.
Right. Like if this was back in like the time, those are the people who would be the Coliseum. You know, those are the gladiators. Those are the people who'd go out there and fight. Yeah. And yeah, I think he did have a little bit of a domestic violence situation.
Yeah, John Jones beat us. There was something. Someone said something. He was like,
"Let me take work home."
There was an old woman, and he was sitting like first class on a plane.
Yeah.
He's sitting next to an old lady on the plane, and she goes, "Oh, like the old lady's like, oh, like what do you do?" Similar to your situation, how people are walking by, "Oh, John Jones."
Right.
So she's like, "What do you do?" And he was so gentle, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm a professional fighter." Super gentle, but you go in the comment section, he was like, 5 seconds after this video ended, he put her in a rear naked choke.
Because I couldn't imagine being a professional, because there's some people who can't turn off like what it is that you do. Like for example, if you're playing like crazy competitive sports, you're gonna be competitive at everything. That's why Jordan has that gambling, issue. Charles Barkley has that gambling issue. Because that same sort of output that you had to have in that sport, when you now retire, like I can only imagine what Tom Brady's next 10 to 15 years are going to look like, because he's so ultra competitive. How do you now take what you used to do at such a high level and then transition that towards something else? Because there's no way you could just, all right, I'm done with it, and then you go elsewhere. It's going to persist. In that first because the first 5 years of like retirement across the board, you don't know what the hell to do with yourself.
I think it's weird. Yeah, everyone's like trying to figure it out.
So I always find, and the only reason why I go 10 to 15, because he was so ultra competitive. Because in the short term, 5 years just seems like too short.
I mean, Tom Brady been smashing some tings, Yeah,
that too. Yeah, but that's more the competitive edge about his
Kim Kardashian. He had like I've been seeing him with like a bunch of like Instagram girls. Now he's with like Bradley Cooper's baby mama.
Yeah,
like he's out here.
Yeah, he's out there. Because why not? I mean, at that point, you're Tom Brady. You have to do no work for it. You just exist. Oh, that's Tom Brady. Like you're recognizable.
He's out here
without the helmet, and then he's like he could have been the face of GQ if he never played football or whatever.
Good-looking guy. Like he's out here on some. Something. He was in a Mr. Beast video, like.
Yeah, when they were throwing the
He's doing his run, man. He's
right. Good for him. Good for him. I'm happy for him. And now he had a minority stake, I think, with the Raiders. Or something like that. And then a lot of people are still thinking, man, is he really retired for good? Because now it's training camp time and everything like that.
I mean, no, he can't. If he owns a minority stake, he can't be a player owner.
Yeah. No, you can't. At least you would imagine. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna sell my minority stake. I'm gonna step on the field. Like if they were to have injuries at quarterback and now there's nobody available, everybody looks to the skybox. This guy got the jersey coming out.
Coming down.
Could you imagine? That'd be crazy.
That'd be fire. It's my dream to own a sports team. I could own the Lakers, bruh.
Oh my God.
That's a dream come true.